everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Katie and today I am going to be doing a single page layout using the Aurora line from Close to My Heart. So the inspiration for this page is actually found on page 7 in the May-June catalog. And what I did was I cut out all the shapes, I cut out all of the items that had a stamp and then thin cut with it. And I did that already off camera. And before this, I was just piecing them all together and I have the vast majority of them already glued down. So what I'm going to do is just add this last piece. Again, all I did was eyeball it. I'm not overly worried about it looking absolutely perfect and lined up. And as you can see, I even didn't look at the way I was running my paper through my big shot, and some of it is kind of on an angle and some of it's straight. But in all reality, I kind of like that wonky look, so that part does not bother me one bit. So in this layout, you will notice that it is a one page but also one photo layout, and I do not have a photo that I've picked out for this particular layout yet. So what I did was backed a piece of charcoal paper for the outline and then just use the place photo mat right on top. So the photo mats come 4x6, so I just added 1/4 of an inch around the whole thing. So behind that, I'm going to back this Aurora paper with the constellations, and in the photo it just kind of looks like it's a little offset and a little wonky. So I'll go ahead and add that, and then I'm going to add that right down to the layout. I'm just using my ATG gun. And again, I am mainly eyeballing the vast majority of this. Scrapbooking, I know some people have different styles where they use the T-rulers or rulers to line up. I'm very much so an eyeballing kind of a person, and if it looks good, I'll glue it down. So this little piece is going to be tucked right behind this photo mat. And again, eyeballing it. Putting that down. I cut out this piece ahead of time. This was a stamp that came with the thin cut, and then also I did in a blue arrow. On the inspiration piece, they had a bunch of little dots around this particular piece, so what I did was just use this black pen. This is a pen that Close to My Heart used to sell. They now have a different kind of drawing pen, but I was just using what I had on hand, and I just put some dots around there. So again, using my ATG gun, I'm just going to go ahead and glue that down. And then with a little liquid glue, I'm going to add this piece. Being careful not to add glue on this part because my photo will be tucked underneath it. The good thing with liquid glue is it is a little more forgiving than the ATG gun. The arrow on the inspiration piece looks to be a little longer than the arrow that I cut out, so what I did was just snip that in half. And again, I'll just be using a little bit of glue and tucking it behind that green piece. So there's that part of the arrow, a little bit of liquid glue. Add that to the other end, and then it looks like the arrow is longer and in the background. And the arrow did come in the thin cut die set as well, and this is what it looks like before it is actually cut. So then on this piece, there is the blue arrow again, just going in a different direction. And then the little sign that says the wild is waiting. So I will go ahead and glue that down. Again, just kind of eyeballing it, seeing what looks good to me. More liquid glue for that little, the wild is calling. And then on that particular piece, they have some silver gems. So these are the silver glitter gems from Close to My Heart. So I'm just going to add a few to that element as well. The silver glitter gems come in 2 different sizes. You can see that they are a little smaller, and then these ones are a bit larger. And again, going off the inspiration piece, it looks like there's about 2 larger ones and then one of the smaller ones. Actually, it looks like maybe 2 smaller ones and 1 larger one. So we'll go ahead and add that there. So over here, this cluster on the inspiration page are 2 of the trees that are cut and die cut. And then the acrylic piece. So I will go ahead and glue those down. Again, making sure that I do not add glue to the side that the picture will be on, because I do not have a picture picked out yet. Actually, I do have a picture in mind. I just have not printed it yet. And the acrylic shape, again, just using some liquid glue right on that. Placing that down. And on this particular shape, it looks like there is a design on it. So what I did was take the stamp set, the Aurora scrapbooking stamp set, and this piece right here, I just put it on an acrylic block. And to me, it looks like sapphire. So this is the sapphire ink. So I'm just going to go ahead and ink that up and add that right to this element. And it also looks like there is one over here. We'll go ahead and add that shape. In this little cluster, there is also a zip strip that I cut. I cut it to be around 4 inches, so it looks like 3 3/4, and then I just cut it on an angle. So I use my ATG gun to adhere that under the photo mat as well. And that looks kind of wonky. I'm not sure I like that. So I'm just going to lift this up and shift this over. Okay, I like that placement better. And then over here on this corner, there is this outdoor. Looks like a tree right behind it. And then these acrylic star elements are down here. So for this one, I'm actually going to lift that up with some foam adhesive tape. And again, I'm just going to put it on the side of it as to not overlap over the photo, because again, I don't have the photo picked out, so I want to make sure that there is indeed room for that photo to get tucked behind. The tree, I'm just going to use some more liquid adhesive. Tuck that right behind there. Then there is a gray arrow underneath. So I will be using more liquid adhesive and put the arrow underneath this piece, just like so. And I did notice that the tree is a little too high, so I'm going to move this down and move that tape. Again, the acrylic stars, a little bit of liquid adhesive. And it will dry clear. So add those elements right there. Let's see here, what else do I have on here? That piece, I'm not liking how that is sticking up a bit, so I'm just going to cut a little more foam tape and take off that backing. Make sure I don't get it on the part where the picture will be there. There, that's much more elevated. And it looks like the last bit of elements that were added to this was this thread. So it is called embellishing thread, and it is definitely as thin as thread. So let's see if I can get some of this. Just take it off the spool. A trick to get the kinks out is to take it on the back of the scissors, kind of like how you make ribbon curl. It's the same thing, except instead of curling it, it takes out the kinks. So I will take some of that and then just kind of roll it around my fingers. Doesn't need to be perfect. Kind of get it into this meshy looking ball. And then I will take a glue dot and use the glue dot to kind of hold it all together. A couple more glue dots. And then I will tuck it behind. Actually, I'll cut off this because it'll just add bulk. Then I will tuck it behind here. So there it is there, and then it is also right behind this area. So same thing, just taking it off, using the back of the scissors to get rid of all the kinks. Rolling it around my fingers, kind of making a nice shape. And then using some glue dots to kind of stick it together. Then I'll take that and tuck it behind this little sign right here. Kind of wing it out a little bit. And then it looks like there are a few of these gems down here. So a large one and a small one. And then a couple up here as well. Appears to be just a few small ones. And I believe I'm going to add another one. I'm going to move this one and then add this one over here, just to kind of add a little glitter focus to that area. And then on the inspiration piece, there are 3 journaling strips as well, which I will cut later. So thank you for joining me with this process video using the Aurora line from Close to My Heart. I hope you guys had fun and that you will join me next time crafting. See you later and have a good day.